Welcome back to a new episode of Bon Voyage Besties with your hosts, Rosa and Rachel. Today, we're switching things up a little and talking about one of our favorite kinds of trips, the easy, charming getaway that's right in your own backyard. Specifically, we're taking you to New Hope and the surrounding area in Bucks County. If you've never been to New Hope and you happen to live in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or even New York, New Hope is one of those places that feels like a little escape without needing a passport or a long flight. So I want you guys to think of cozy cafes, art galleries, cute boutiques, river views, and plenty of spots for a perfect girls' weekend or even a spontaneous day trip. There's also a lot of fascinating history in the area as well, if you like that. And then just across the bridge is Lambertville, which is in New Jersey and is also super cute. It doubles the charm with antique shops, great restaurants, and even more small town vibes. So, in today's episode, we're sharing why this area is such a perfect getaway, some of our favorite things to do, and a few ideas for turning a simple visit into a memorable little adventure. So, whether you're planning a day trip, a romantic weekend, or just looking for a cute town to wander around in and spend money, because that's like what I like to do personally, New Hope and Bucks County might be exactly what you're looking for. So, settle in and let's talk about exploring New Hope. So, Rosa, let's get into it. I love this place so much. It's so cute. I try to go multiple times a year.
Same. New Hope has become one of those destinations for me. I first discovered it years back. I took Samantha. They had like a Polar Express type of train exhibit going on. So that was the first time that I had experienced New Hope. But we only went to do a train ride with like Santa and visit like, the North Pole. And we just like grabbed dinner. So I didn't really get to experience it much until I actually did a press trip, thanks to visit Bucks County. And Samantha and I did like a mother-daughter getaway in New Hope. And this was during like the pandemic. But it was such a great time, and this is the first time that we actually got to experience New Hope. And after that, I've been obsessed and hooked. And I feel like for me, it's one of those destinations, at least where I'm located, it's about like an hour and a half drive. So it's great whether you want to do like a day trip or like a weekend getaway. There's so much to see and do within the area. So New Hope is just like so charming. I feel like the perfect destination to explore any time of
Yeah.
the year, too.
I totally agree. And I'm kind of similar in the sense that New Hope, I went there a couple times when I was a teenager, when I grew up in South Jersey, but it was with my parents. It would usually just be for the day. We would go and have lunch. We would go shopping. I remember one time being 16 years old, I was really temperamental because I didn't do well in French class. And I kind of got into it with my family a little bit walking across the bridge. So that's one experience I remember. So I'm glad I've had better experiences now as an adult. It's about an hour drive from me, and I've been multiple times with friends, a couple times just for the day, which is perfect. But also, we did a weekend getaway to New Hope together, and it was so super fun. And that was in March. So it was kind of outside that busy fall season, summer season, and it was just very quiet and peaceful. We were right on the river, and it was the perfect reset that I know I needed. And just the shopping is so fun, the art galleries, everything. It really is the best little getaway ever.
I know New Hope was like ranked as like one of the most like charming like towns to visit on the East Coast. And I can see why, because just like you said, there's so much to see and do within like the surrounding area. So like for me, just walking around Main Street, all of the cute shops, a little bit dangerous because they have a lot of cute shops. Like we know from our experience, we last time we went there, we walked out with like 10 bags each of goodies. So it could be dangerous for your wallet. But one of the great things that I personally like about New Hope that if you are looking to go for like a weekend getaway, there's so many different types of accommodations from super quaint little bed and breakfast to like some upscale like hotels. So it really is the perfect destination depending on what type of vibe you're looking for.
Yeah, 1,000%. Rosa, in your opinion, do you think that New Hope works better as a day trip or a weekend getaway? Like, I like both, but say someone who's visiting for the first time, what would you suggest that they do?
I think it really depends on your pace, right? If you only have a day, then I think you can still see and do a lot depending on what your interests are. There's also a playhouse located in New Hope. So maybe you're into the theater. Maybe you want to go there for like brunch, catch a show. So it's perfect for like a day trip. So again, I feel like it depends on your time constraint, how much time you have allocated. But I feel like either way way it works because same, I've gone there for a day trip. Most of the times that I visited New Hope, it's been more so like a weekend. Like I leave like on a Friday after work and come back Sunday afternoon, which is like I feel like a perfect time to kind of explore. But if you only have a day, there's still so much you can see and do. And it's only an hour and a half, depending on where you're located, or 2 hours if you're in like New York City area. So I feel like for me, anything under 2 hours is still an ideal day trip.
Yeah, definitely. I know like the day trips I've always done have been a lot of fun. Like I've had time to really do some shopping, which again, Dangerous, one of my favorite stores there. Shout out to New Hope Candle. I love artisanal candles. And I actually have one going right now. It's like a pine smelling candle, but I'm down to my last one. So I feel like I need to go back just to buy candles. And the last time I went to New Hope, it was with two friends, and it was actually an ongoing joke about how I needed to go there specifically to buy candles, and my friends were like, "You need to show us these candles that you're always raving about."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really is true. Like every time I've gone just for the day, it's been super easy because, again, for me, I'm in central New Jersey. It's only about a 50-minute drive. So, that's definitely super easy as a day trip. But I do like love the weekend trips as well because I like being on the river and I find it's really peaceful. It's definitely an escape from how busy, life can be like where I live full time. So, it does depend on your priorities and your budget as well. Like maybe if you're saving for a big overseas trip, but you just like need something to do and you're based in New Jersey or New York, New Hope is just a great way to just kind of clear your head, walk around, do some shopping. And again, there's lots of fantastic like museums if you're interested in that. If you're into the art scene, the Bucks County Playhouse is really cute. I've never been to a show there, but the venue from the outside is just so cute on the river. And I always want to see what they're playing, but I've never had the opportunity to actually go inside for a show. So that's something I know I need to do.
Same. I haven't gone to the Playhouse. We actually did a collaboration with Visit Bucks County where we visited like the surrounding area and we went to, I believe it was in Yardley, and there was a playhouse there and we saw Raisin in the Sun, which was such
It's
a
so
wonderful
good.
production.
It's such a good show. I saw another performance of that recently here in New Jersey, and I actually used to teach it in school to ninth grade. It's such a good show. It's a long play, but it's very engaging.
It was. We had such a great time seeing that. So that's amazing. And like we said at the beginning, there's so much to see and do within New Hope, but you also have some surrounding areas that are a short drive. So if you are visiting for a weekend, you can explore the downtown area. I know last time you and I went, we did like some wine tasting, we did some shopping at some bookstores. So there's so much to see and do within like the vicinity. So I feel like it's like perfect for any time of the year. But what would you say would be your favorite time to visit New Hope?
So I'm partial to a couple different times a year. I do like seeing it decorated for Christmas. Now in December, it can get a little crowded because they have like a famous train for the little ones. I think you can see Santa, and it's just so cute, all decorated for Christmas. And it's a nice place to do some Christmas shopping. I know recently I was across the river in Lambertville and I did all my Christmas shopping there, and it was just like perfect to find unique gifts for my family. But I also really enjoy it in the fall, like the weather's getting a little more comfortable. You see the changing leaves over the river, the foliage, and also like New Hope. It's a very artsy type of place, and it definitely captures that spooky vibe really well. So going in October is great too. Like all of the shops and the bed and breakfasts are decorated for Halloween, so it really does get you in the spirit for spooky season, which I also adore. But I have to say, going in March, which I guess would be their low season, was also really nice because it was a bit quieter. We didn't have to worry about the crowds quite so much. It was a little easier for us to find parking to go into the shops. So that was really cool too. I've never been in the summer. I could see it being a little like hot and humid just because of the area that we live in, but I could see that being enjoyable. But yeah, I'm definitely partial to fall and Christmas and New Hope. How about you? Any particular time that you love?
Same. So I've only visited during like the winter months or like springtime. So I haven't been there during the summer. So that's actually one of my goals for this year is to visit back in the summer months because they have a lot of great like wineries and so many outdoor activities like kayaking, some beautiful like hiking trails and cycling trails, which is amazing. So I definitely want to explore a little bit more during the warmer months. But I like the fall time because like you said, especially if you're staying in New Hope, there's so many accommodations that are right there along Main Street or a short walk for a drive from Main Street, which is perfect to kind of walk around and explore. And one of the things that I love about New Hope that it's like very quaint little town. So you can easily like walk along the different shops. There's a lot of restaurants overlooking like the river. So it's just so beautiful. And then seeing it throughout like the fall foliage, it just adds like another layer of charm.
Yeah, 100%. And as you guys can probably tell listening to this, like New Hope, Lambertville, Bucks County in general, I would really say it's good for any type of travel. I've gone with my family, I've gone with friends. Believe it or not, I have not gone solo to New Hope, but I was actually thinking this week, I had a bit of a crazy week that Rosa knows about. And I was like, it would be really nice just going to a hotel in New Hope by myself, doing some shopping, maybe having brunch at the bar somewhere, and then just relaxing, reading a book, and having time to myself. But I do think it's a very versatile destination in the sense that I think it's perfectly appropriate for any type of travel. So you can kind of do that, which is great because I know some places, especially small towns, are better for like romantic getaways. But New Hope, you can go with friends, you can go solo, and I think it'd be fine.
I agree. I mean, the times that I've gone with Samantha. So we've done like the mother daughter trip. I've gone with you, with my other friends. I've never gone with Michael. So from a romantic standpoint, I can see it being like a beautiful kind of getaway if you're looking to kind of spend some time with your partner and just like having a nice little romantic staycation because it really is such a charming little town. But that I haven't done yet. So maybe I'll drag him with me this summer.
All right, there we go. Pack your bags, get ready.
And what I love to, like I said before, with at least New Hope, there's so many like places to stay. I've stayed in different types of accommodations from bed and breakfast to like luxury hotels and anything in between. So again, depending on your budget and your lifestyle and your criteria, there's definitely a place for everyone, which I feel like makes the town even more appealing. And everyone is like genuinely like so nice. So I've done like 3 bed and breakfasts and everyone is like so charming, so sweet, so knowledgeable because New Hope and Bucks County in general, there's so much history behind it. So it's so fascinating to even get to know it from a historical standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. So, Rosa, I know you've done a lot more overnight stays than I have. The only time I've stayed overnight there was when we did our press trip together last year. So, do you have any specific recommendations for accommodation that really stand out?
So the ones that come to my mind, it's the first place that we stayed, which was a bed and breakfast called Fox and Hounds. And I'll make sure to include everything in the show notes, or we'll post it actually on a social media post where I can share the specific of the accommodations where we sit in. But I've done Fox and Hound, which is like a bed and breakfast. It's beautiful. It's not necessarily within like walking distance, but it's maybe like a 5 minute drive to Main Street in the downtown area. But I loved it because of the quaint, really charming. The hosts are just like amazing and very sweet, and, like, the food was delicious. Like, Samantha and I, they had a cute little gazebo, and I was like, "Oh, this is, like, so charming," like, romanticizing my life if I was, like, in, like, a fairy tale. So it was really cute, and we had, like, such a great time there. There was another, bed and breakfast that the name is escaping me, so I'll have to look at that. But we also stood when you and I went last year, we stood at the Ghost Light Inn, which was
I
beautiful.
loved
It's
it.
a
I loved
beautiful
it.
property. It's, like, right on the water. Their on-site restaurant, Stella, was phenomenal, and I'm not saying this because they hosted us. It truly is a beautiful place to stay. If you wanna be right on the water, you're actually right next to the Playhouse, and within an easy walk, like, you're right on Main Street. So I love it because everything's walking distance. You don't even need to worry about, like, driving anywhere. It's so walkable, very, very beautiful. Like, the property is amazing, and they're dog friendly too. So if you wanna have a nice weekend away and you don't wanna leave your furry friend behind, you can bring them with you.
Love that. Yeah, it's so true. Like Stella, that restaurant, it was so delicious. It's funny you mention there because I was actually thinking about having brunch there with my friends and I couldn't get a reservation because it was very last minute, but it's definitely the type of place I would go back to. Like you said, it's not just because they were hosting us. I was looking to go back again and spend money out of my own pocket because the food is absolutely phenomenal. Like I still dream about their brunch. And I remember when we stayed there, it was daylight savings time. And I decided last minute that I was, going to stay the extra night and just drive right to work. And those leftovers saved my life going to work because I didn't have a chance to have coffee. I lost an hour of sleep and Stella's leftovers. Can't thank you enough. You got me through a day of teaching. You made sure I was well fed multiple days. Loved it.
Yeah, their portions were very generous, and I think that's where we had the cinnamon rolls, which were
Yes,
like
that's what I was thinking of, those cinnamon rolls. I still dream about those. They were
I'll
so good.
drive I'll drive the hour and a half just for that. But Stella was amazing. And another location that I stood at, it's a little bit further from like the main area in Main Street, but not by much. It's River House at Odette's. So it's a little bit further up on Main Street. And the property is beautiful. Again, it sits on the river. So you have beautiful river views. They provide on-site parking. They have bikes that you can borrow. So if you want to go along their cycling trail, which is I forget how long the trail is, but it's a pretty long trail. It's beautiful, beautiful property. Highly suggest that one. And that one I would say is probably a little bit more on the upscale side, but gorgeous venue. They also have like two on-site restaurants on site. One of them, I believe, is called Roof. So in order to get access to that particular restaurant, you either have to be staying at the hotel or you have to be a member of the hotel in order to get access. And the place was beautiful. I mean, we did that during like the month, I think it was like December. And it was so charming because they had like a fireplace up there. They gave you like these cute blankets, and I had like the most delicious like pear martini that I
Oh, that
still
sounds
Yes.
amazing.
I still
I
think about
love
that.
pear. I love pear. I have like a lovely perfume from France that's pear scented. I love pear flavored cocktails. So you're just like speaking my
Yeah.
language. It's a wonderful scent and a wonderful taste.
And that one, I feel like it's nice too because if like you kind of want to splurge a little bit, maybe for like a girl trip or romantic getaway, I feel like the River House at Odette's, it was such a beautiful destinations and the room, like the decor. I mean, like everywhere that I stood in New Hope, I've never had a bad experience. So it just really depends what type of atmosphere you're looking for. If you want something a little bit more cozy and quaint, then so many amazing bed and breakfasts that you can choose from. And I know there's a couple of other hotels. I haven't stayed there yet, but I know a couple of friends who have gone. I think it's called the Logan, and it's also located on Main Street. I hear great things about that property as well. So I feel like New Hope has so many different options. But one of the places that you mentioned, I know New Hope is like right next to Lambertville, which I've never actually crossed over. I've gone on the bridge and I've crossed the line, but I've never actually been in Lambertville.
Oh,
No.
Rosa, we'll have to go. We need to go back. Lambertville is so super cute. They have a bookstore there. Somewhere that I really like for brunch is called Under the Moon, and they also have a location in Bordentown. I went with my friend before we went Christmas shopping, and they have phenomenal empanadas. It's what they're known for, and just like the vibe inside is really cool. It's like as if you're having brunch inside a really swanky antique shop. It's a wonderful place to go and eat before doing a little bit of shopping. So I will say Lambertville a little smaller than New Hope, but there's still like certainly a lot to see and do. And then if you like perfumes, there's a wonderful perfume store as well. I know when I run out of my perfume that's like where I'm going because there's just so many options.
You convinced me. Have you actually stayed overnight in Lambertville? Do you have any hotel recommendations?
I have not. So that's something that I have to do. I'll be firing up Instagram and looking at hotels over in Lambertville because I've never stayed. And it is really an adorable little town with just as many fantastic shops. Like I said, really love Under the Moon for brunch. The empanadas are totally spot on. I would do that drive just for the empanadas. And then there's a bookstore and a perfume store that I absolutely adore. And then you obviously you can get great coffee over in Lambertville as well. So it's just like another charming town. So you really do get two downtowns, like for a simple walk across the bridge. And then it's cool. Like if you're the kind of person who wants to visit all 50 states, it's like two states for the price of one. You just have to cross the bridge. There you go.
Easy walk. Or you can be like me and have one foot in New Hope, one foot in Lambertville. Be like, I'm in two places at once.
Oh my God, Rosa, now we need to go to Lambertville. We're going to talk about this as soon as the episode ends because I'm going to drag you there. I love Lambertville. And it's
Let's
actually
do it.
always where I park too. So being in New Jersey, even though like Easy Pass, sometimes the tolls I can be a little bit cheap, even though I love to spend on my credit card. So I'll actually park over in Lambertville and then walk over the New Hope so I can avoid paying the tolls to go into PA.
I mean, hey, listen, less money on tolls, more money on candles. So I'm here
Exactly.
for it.
Exactly. So speaking of like driving and getting to New Hope or even Lambertville, it's kind of smack in the middle between Philadelphia and New York City. So I will say, if you live in New York City and don't have a car, I'm really not sure how easy New Hope is to get to without your own vehicle. Every time that I've gone down there, I've driven and it's been very accessible. But like New York City in particular, because I know not everyone has a car, I don't really know how to get there by public transit. I don't know if you have any ideas about that, Rosa?
Yeah, so I know so New Hope has a train station. So I know a couple of friends who have gone there from New York City, and I believe it's either through like Amtrak direct from like New York Penn Station, I believe, or you might just have to go from New York into like New Jersey Penn Station over in Newark, and from there catching like a train. So I think
Okay.
it's still pretty accessible.
Awesome.
Even with public transport, it might be like 2.5 hours around there, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I'm not 100% sure. All the times that I've gone there, I've driven. And for me being in North New Jersey, it's about an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, and like I will say, so we'll definitely like double check the public transit for you guys, but I will say once you're in New Hope and you're parked, again, you can walk to Lambertville right across the bridge. The shops, they're all pretty walkable, the restaurants. So once you're parked and situated, you really don't need your car all that much, like unless of course you want to do some trips around Bucks County like Rosa and I, we went into Doylestown on our visit, and for that you like needed a car. We also went to one of the wineries. What was it called? Washington Crossing
I
Winery?
think it was Crossing Wineries. The place called Washington, I think that was like a restaurant that we went to, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the
Yeah.
winery was like Crossing Wineries or Crossing Vineyards.
Yeah, because it wasn't far from where George Washington crossed the Delaware, hence the
Yeah,
name. So obviously, if you're doing something like that, or you're going down to Yardley, then you definitely need your own car. But if you just want to hang out in New Hope and Lambertville, you really don't need a car to get around once you're parked, which is great if you're taking advantage of the artisanal cocktails.
exactly. And trust me, you're gonna want to because like when we went and we went to Stella's, that was a little dangerous because their espresso martinis were amazing. Like we need to go back. Like
I
I
know,
just need to go back.
I
I need those
know.
cinnamon rolls and those martinis. Like we have
I'm
to go
not
back.
even kidding. We're gonna plan it as soon as guys, as soon as we like finish this recording, Rosa and I are planning because I am not even kidding when I said I was thinking this week about just like going there for a reset. I think it's because our trip there was about a year ago because I remember it was daylight savings time. So yeah, definitely want to go back. So how about like must see spots? For me, it's New Hope Candle. You'll love the candles. Even if you're not a candle person, you'll buy like 5 of them. I'm on my last one. I have to go back to New Hope Candle.
So I'm actually going to give a shout out. There's a couple of places. So when I went with Sam, we went over to Peddler's Village and we went during the month of April. And it's such a cute, like you feel like you're like in a Hallmark channel. So basically, Peddler's Village is comprised of a lot of different like stores and like restaurants. One of my favorite like barbecue spots, it's located in Peddler's Village. Every time I go there, I have to make a pit stop because the barbecue is like phenomenal. And I believe the place is called Holy Q and it's delicious. So you can spend the day there shopping. So if you want to kind of get away from like the downtown area in New Hope and experience a little bit difference, then definitely doing Peddler's Village. That you do have to drive. Maybe it's about like 15 minutes or so. So nothing crazy. So definitely doing a stop there. And also I did a saw cave. I think that was in Newton.
Ooh,
So again,
that's
not too
fun.
far. Yes, it was so much fun. I've never done a saw cave before, and it was great. It kind of like cleanses you. As you guys may know, I get like a lot of like headaches and migraines. And when I tell you, I felt like a complete detox. And during that press trip, actually, I was like going through like a terrible migraine. I was like miserable the whole trip, and I'm trying to like enjoy myself as best as possible. But we ended up going to the salt cave. And I kid you not, I walked out of there and I was telling Samantha, I was like, okay, my headache is not 100% gone, but I feel so much better. Like I can actually like breathe, like I can actually like see, I don't feel nauseous anymore. So if you're into that, then checking out the Salt Cave. And another place that I would mention is called Font Hill Castle. So that has like a ton of amazing history. The grounds are beautiful. I would definitely love to go back there during the summer months just to kind of see a little bit more like lush. Because when we went, again, it was like during the month of April at that time. So like some of the trees and whatnot, they weren't looking as great. So definitely would love to kind of explore that again. And it's a ton of history in there and very charming. And again, it's one of those places like you really do feel like you're somewhere outside of like New Jersey. I felt like I was like in a village, like in Germany, just like exploring and just like getting transported somewhere else. So I would say those are some of like the top places that I've gone to. They're a little bit unique and outside of just, the beautiful candle stores and soap shops that we love.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many like cool like little trips you could take from New Hope if you have it as a base. Like another location that I was thinking of that I really enjoyed going with you, Rosa, was the Michener Art Museum. I thought that was a lot of fun, the galleries. And if you're the type of person who gets overwhelmed by art museums, maybe you've been to the Met or the Louvre and you're like, oh, I don't know, this is a little too big for me. I feel like I could spend 2 hours in here and get lost. The Michener Art Museum is wonderful because it's a small museum. The art is high quality. The grounds are beautiful. Rosa and I, we went in March. So it's like when we went outside to look at the sculptures, we didn't have like, brilliant flowers or like lush greenery or anything, but it was still really lovely to walk around. And then you can get into the Michener Art Museum for free on the second Sunday of the month. So if you are somebody who is on a budget, you can definitely check that out. I will say it's very popular though. I remember when we were trying to find parking, it took a little bit. They do have a lot there, but it was busy. So if you do go on that second Sunday of the month, make sure that you get there early so you can find parking. And then, of course, Doylestown is really super close. There's lots of great bookstores there, more shopping. So that's like another place that you can check out after you go to the art museum.
Yeah, Doylestown was a lot of fun. We actually found this place, I think it was called like Central Bookstore,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, yeah, or Central Books. And there you can actually purchase used books. So if you're like me and you love books and you're like a book hoarder and it can add up very quickly. It's an
Yeah.
expensive hobby. So this place was great because I think I bought like 3 or 4 books that I didn't need, but I wanted. And I didn't spend that much money because they were used. So you're getting them at an affordable cost. So I think this is like a great way that you can kind of add on to your collection without spending too much money. So I really, really enjoy that. And also too, like I would think it's so much fun. So when Rachel and I went, we were a little adventurous and crazy. So we're walking down Main Street and there was like a sex shop. We did not walk out with any gadgets, guys. We did not, it was not that kind of trip. It was not that kind of trip, I swear. However, it was so fun. So like if you're
It's
going with
really
your
funny.
girlfriends and you need a good laugh, like walk into the sex shop
It's
because like
funny.
you're gonna find some interesting things there. So I was
It's
definitely
funny.
very curious, and I was telling Rachel, I was like, "Wow, I don't even know what to do with half of these things." So
It was funny. Like really, if you want a good laugh, like, it's funny. It's definitely worth it to like pop in and be amused. Somewhere else,
exactly.
Rosa, that I want to go. It's not in New Hope, but it's back in Doylestown. Is I think that there's like a vampire museum. I've seen it on social media and I've seen it on Google Maps. I had this is don't think I'm crazy, guys. A big crush on Dracula when I was 4 years old. So I really want to go to this vampire museum and check it out. Have not been, but if you go to the vampire museum, definitely DM us and let us know how it is because I want to go.
That sounds fun. So, like, as you can tell, there's so much to do in like New Hopes and the surrounding area. So, definitely, depending on what you're looking for, it's definitely a destination that you should check out.
Yeah, it's quite quirky. Like we're like laughing about like the vampire museum and the sex shop, but it's so true because like there is a lot of like quirkiness and weirdness to New Hope too, and I say weirdness in a very positive way because you can find just these really really unique shops. Like I know there's also some shops that have like a witchcraft sort of vibe, and they're really cool to walk into. It kind of reminds me of the Renaissance Fair. I used to go to that a lot when I was younger. And some of those shops have a similar vibe. I'm like, oh, I feel like I could buy a cloak and like some sage and run around the Renaissance Fair. So if you're looking for that too, New Hope has it and it's great. Like I do love that.
Yeah, they had a lot of cute little antique shops as well. So again, if you love to shop, there's so many like cute stores around New Hope and like interesting finds, like Rachel said, that very like unique pieces. So definitely recommend doing that. But aside from that, like what if you want more of a relaxed day? Like what are your recommendations for activities that kind of offer more of relaxation?
I did like that Crossing Winery because they had an excellent wine tasting there. And it was like a leisurely wine tasting. I didn't feel like rushed whatsoever. You could walk around the grounds a little bit, kind of just hang out. I thought that was very laid back and relaxed. I can't say enough about like walking along the river. I know there's a lot of like biking trails and walking trails. So if you happen to get good weather, walking around like the river and seeing that is like very nice as well. Those are the two things that immediately come to mind for me. How about you, Rosa?
I mean, I definitely agree as far as like the river. There's something about being surrounded by water that it's like so peaceful and relaxing. I do like that along the waterfront area, they have like some like chairs so you can just like sit down, some lawn area. So if you just wanted to like grab a book and it's like beautiful weather and you just kind of want to chill, highly recommend that. And if you kind of want more of like a relaxed staycation, then I definitely recommend staying at either the Ghost Light Inn or River House at Odette because they have accommodations with the balcony and the
Yeah.
riverfront views. So you don't even have to leave your room. You can just like relax on your balcony, enjoy the beautiful view, get yourself some room service, a nice cocktail, and just have like a great relaxed time. So I highly recommend splurging a little bit and staying in an accommodation that has like waterfront views.
I agree because just like being on the water, it definitely relaxes you. And I think like that riverfront area, there's some public art as well. Like I remember there being cool sculptures too. So that's like something else to definitely check out. So with New Hope, we talked a little bit about the museums, the historic sites. What would you say that the food scene is like? Like I keep going back to that brunch over in Lambertville with the empanadas, so good, but you can find just like such high quality food in Bucks County.
Totally. I feel like every place that I went to in Bucks County, the food has been like phenomenal. And again, I have to like find the actual name of the places and then we'll do like a social media post and do like a roundup. But like we talked about Stella, delicious brunch. If you make it over to River House at Odette, I forget the name of their on-site restaurant on the first level. The food there was like phenomenal. Rachel and I also went to a Japanese
It
restaurant
was
where we
so
had like
good.
the most delicious like sushi. Like everything on that menu was delicious. The one restaurant that we went to, I think all we got was like a citrus like chicken salad. And when I tell you, it was like the best chicken salad I've had in my life.
My
Like
God.
all the food that I've gone and that I've had while in New Hope has been great. There was one restaurant right on Main Street. I think it's called Greenhouse. There, like Sam and I went there. The burger was like delicious. So I feel like you cannot go wrong with places to eat. And I already gave a shout out to like one of my favorite like barbecue spots, Holy Q. The food there was really good. I feel like everywhere that I've gone to within New Hope, and again, when you stay like at the bed and breakfast, the food, there's just something so charming about a bed and breakfast, and the food there is just like phenomenal. So you
Yeah, it's
can't go
like
wrong. You
that
cannot
home
go
cooked
wrong.
meal. It's like you can't go wrong. That's like
And
the
it's like
fresh breakfast
unique
in the
stuff
movie.
too. Sometimes it could be something simple like yogurt and like homemade granola, but it's like, oh my God, this is the best granola I've ever had.
Sometimes those simple ingredients are the best ingredients. Like if you have just like a couple like quality items, it can really blow your mind. And I feel like you're more likely to get that at those bed and breakfasts because they're small. They're not like making breakfast for like 100 people. So you can really get a good quality meal.
I totally agree. And we went to a few places in Yardley. Again, food, I think it was called the Continental Inn restaurant, which has like crazy history. If you guys are into like ghost and stuff like that, I highly recommend. I think it's actually called Continental Tavern, and they have a very interesting history. So definitely check that out if you're into ghosts. Maybe that could be fun if you decide to go during like the month of October and make it a little spookier, like little staycation or day trip. But the food there was phenomenal. We went to this other restaurant in Yardley where I had like a brisket sandwich. I still think about the brisket sandwich.
God.
As you can tell, we just love to eat.
Let's go back. We have
Let's
to
go
go
back.
back. We have
We'll
to go
just do like a
back right
food
now.
crawl. Like we'll do like a DIY food
We
crawl
have to go
and
back.
guys, like let's make this a meetup. This will be fun. You can join us in New
Yes,
Hope
New
and we'll
Hope.
just
We'll
go
just
eat
walk
all
all
of the
around
food.
and eat everything and then go to the bookstore, get candles, get like a nice mug. I still remember when we went. I forget
Yes, your
the
mug.
gallery, but there's a ton of galleries. So if you're like me, I'm running out of wall space and you want like a new piece of art, New Hope is phenomenal for that. Cause again, it's like a very quirky, artistic sort of town. So you can find really unique pieces. Although with me, so this was right after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl and my dad's birthday was coming up.
Let's not judge Rachel for her choice in football teams. We're rivals when it comes to this, you know? In my household, we support the Giants.
My old boss, we would have this like kind of like funny relationship. Like I remember asking her if I could wear Eagles gear to our NFL Fridays we would have at school, and she would be like, "Ooh, Rachel, no." And she was also a Giants fan. It's so funny, but yeah. So I wanted to get something for my dad, and one of the galleries had this Eagles mug, and it was like beautiful, a stunning piece. And I go in and I look and it was $50, but I was like, you know what? It's for my dad and that's priceless. So I bought it.
I may or may not encourage the purchase. If you're looking
So
to save
easy.
money,
My
maybe
God.
don't
Don't
hang
go
out
with
with
me.
us.
Don't go with me anywhere if you're looking to save money. Like that is a mistake, especially in New Hope. Every time I've gone and I'm like, I'm not going to buy anything, I leave with like 5 bags.
I'm telling you, during our last trip, it was so funny. And I think we have the photo of like our hotel room. We had a whole entire line full of like shopping bag and leftovers.
We'll post it on the Bon Voyage Besties Instagram page if you guys want to look and be like, wow, like these girls just like spend a lot of money and consume a lot of stuff. We'll post it. It's pretty comical. And I think that was after too, I said I was going to try to save money.
But look at it this way, we're helping the local economy. And I think that's one of the great things that I love about New Hope is that you are really supporting locals because they're
Absolutely.
like, yeah, you'll find a couple of like chain like restaurants and stores, but everything is like more like your mom and pop shop. So you really are contributing to locals, which is one of the things that I really love to do. And you're getting like unique pieces. And I know this is like one thing sometimes when I travel with certain friends, they're like, you're spending like $20 for like a bar of soap when you can just get like a pack of Dove for half the price. I'm like, yeah, but this is like artisanal. This is made out of like maybe organic ingredients. This is made by someone by hand. So like you're supporting the local economy. So maybe you are splurging a little bit more than you normally would, but you are really getting like high quality items. I remember when we went to the place and we got like the balsamic and like the olive
Yes.
oil.
I got the best sesame oil. Oh, we have to go
So
back. I
it
need
was
more sesame
so
oil
good.
and
Yes,
I
I'm
need
out of balsamic, so
and I
I need
and
a
I
trip.
need more soap. I think New Hope Candle has soap too. I'm almost out of soap and
There we go.
candles.
There we
So,
go. We're going back to New Hope to eat, buy soap, and olive oil.
that is just like our vibe.
Maybe
But
we'll
yeah,
stop at the sex shop on the way out.
but yeah, Rosa is totally right. What I love is everywhere is like a local shop. And it's the same with like the accommodation we're talking about. Like they're all either boutique hotels or bed and breakfast. Like you can't get more like localized than that. So you do tend to keep your money closer to the ground, which I also think is really important. So that's definitely like a positive to visiting New Hope. But Rosa, what do you think people should know before visiting Bucks County if you were to give any travel tips?
I mean, definitely know that you're going to experience something that's going to be a little bit more unique, right? It's a very unique destination. There's something to do for like everyone, something to see, places to eat. So, my biggest thing would be just kind of figuring out what type of vacation or what type of day trip that you're looking for and kind of planning that out. But also, too, I feel like with You Hope, it's one of those places that you can kind of like wing it a little bit because there's so much to do. So definitely kind of like maybe have an idea if there is a restaurant that you want to visit, making reservations ahead of time, because especially if you're visiting over the weekend, then it will get pretty busy, and especially during the warmer months. So having an idea of what you want to do, but knowing like there's so much to see and so much to do that you just cannot go wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's one of those places where you don't need to go crazy with planning, especially if you're going for the day. Like of course, if you want to like mark some shops or some restaurants on maps ahead of time, that's always a good idea. Like Rosa said, if you're staying for a weekend, making reservations, I know when I have brunch with friends on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm sure to make reservations because they do like fill up and also making reservations for a hotel. But I will say, if you have the flexibility and visit midweek, you can just absolutely wing it. Like I know my mom and dad one time, I think it was like a random Wednesday, decided they wanted to go to New Hope that day and book that day at one of the bed and breakfasts and drove up from New Jersey just to like spend the night up there. And that was the day of. So midweek, if you just like are taking a mental health day and you have the flexibility, you can really then wing it then because it doesn't get nearly as crowded on weeknights as weekends.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And also, too, making sure you're checking the hours of opening times for different places because some of the shops might close a little bit early. Some of the museums, maybe they're closed some days during the week. So, just making sure you're doing your research ahead of time as well to ensure that when you are traveling, the things that you want to see and do are going to be open during those days and times.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So, Rosa, what do you think? Should we do a rapid fire round, Bucks County style?
Let's do it. Fire away.
All right. So, this one's kind of like a cop out because you've never been, but New Hope or Lambertville?
So I'm gonna go with Lambertville, even though this is a New Hope episode, but I've never been. So now I want to explore it and go get those empanadas.
Yeah, like you have to go. Like for me, I'm gonna cheat and just say both. Like I never do that with these rapid fire rounds, but like they're different. Like Lambertville, like it's more like there's some antiques, brunch, and then I feel like New Hope has more of like the quirky shops, the galleries. So they're a little different, but they're both cute. And if you have the time, you should definitely do both because it's just an easy walk across the bridge.
Sounds like a plan. I'm game. So, Rachel, brunch or dinner in town?
I guess it depends. Like if I'm staying for a weekend, definitely dinner. I'm still thinking Estella with those espresso martinis. And I think I had gnocchi there that was really good. And that's what I took for leftovers. And it was awesome. So if I'm staying overnight and I can just enjoy myself, dinner, if I'm just going for the day, I'm fine with doing brunch. So I'm not driving back too late. I'll go over to Lambertville to Under the Moon and have some of those empanadas.
Sounds great. Yeah, I think the same for me. Although, like you said, those espresso martinis, man, I still think about them. So I'm coming for you.
Yep, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back, just so you know. Let's see. So, what other fantastic questions do we have here? This is a good one. Antique shopping or art galleries?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I love both. Although I have to say, I love admiring the art galleries, but I don't know why. I have a fear of commitment when it comes to purchasing like art pieces
Look at my
because I'm
wall.
just like, I would love it in the moment, but then when I think about where I'm going to put it at home, I kind of like freak out. So I guess I'm going to go with the antique shopping because I could be a little bit more impulsive when it comes to that.
Yeah, I definitely love the galleries. I'm gonna say galleries just because I do have some. I'm looking around wall space, or I could take advantage. But when I am completely 100% out of wall space, which I think is going to happen in my near future, then I will definitely do some antique shopping.
There we go. All right, fall foliage or summer river views?
To go with the fall just because the weather is so comfortable. And I love New Hope during spooky season, the decorations. Like, I feel like I'm in a Halloween movie. I would love to do a ghost tour of some sort if they have them there. I just think that would be so much fun. So I am 100% going to go with the fall. How about you?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with summer river views just because I haven't done that. So I want to experience like some of the fun summer activities.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Like, I haven't been there in the summer yet. So I should definitely give that a try as well on my list. Day trip or overnight stay?
Ooh, tough one. I'm gonna go with overnight stay because then I can
Same.
do more. And again, I can drink the espresso martinis.
Yeah, I could do more and I could also buy more stuff. I could like store it all in my car and then go the next day and buy even more stuff.
Definitely more time to shop. So guys, as you can tell from this episode, we truly love New Hope. And I genuinely believe this is a destination for everyone to like experience, whether you want to go on a girls trip, whether you want to go on a romantic getaway or a solo trip. Like there was so much to see, so much to do. So definitely we hope that this episode inspire you to add New Hope to your bucket list if you have not been. And if you've been, we would love to hear from you. What are some places that you recommend so our listeners can add that to their list as well?
Yeah, and so we can add it to our list as well because Rosa and I will go back 50 million times because we love New Hope that much. So if you have any recommendations, please DM us, please email us, reach out. We would definitely like to check it out because, again, for us to go to New Hope, it's not a bad drive for either one of us. So we can go and wing it. So send your recommendations.
Exactly. So, with that, besties, that brings us to an end on today's episode. We hope this episode inspired you to plan a little getaway to New Hope and explore the charm that Bucks County has to offer. So, whether you're strolling along the river, browsing the cute boutiques, grabbing brunch, or hopping across the bridge to Lambertville for those delicious empanadas, this area proves that you don't have to travel far to have an amazing adventure. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give us a follow and a review at Bon Voyage Besties, wherever you listen to your podcast. It really helps more travelers find our show. And be sure to follow us on Instagram so you can see some of the spots that we talked about today and get some more travel inspiration. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, you don't always need a long flight or a big itinerary to have a great trip. Sometimes the best adventures are just a short drive away. So until next time, bon voyage, besties.
Well,
Catch you on the next one.
catch you in the next one. See you at the candle store in New Hope. Bye
Get some
bye.
empanadas and espresso martinis.
Bon voyage, besties.